will. You talk to me for 2 minutes,
No,
I'll leave you alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please
What
God
happened?
bless you, but
What
please leave me
happened?
alone.
What
Please.
How many girls have you done that to, Mr. Perry? Terrorized and horrified and tormented. Look, you got a mommy issue or something. You don't have the right to bother other people with it. You really don't. It's we all wish that you would be as embarrassed as you make the rest of us. Just please be as humiliated and embarrassed for yourself as we all are for you. You're rejected. This trafficking thing, all day long we hear, and actually all night, we hear you guys are talking about taking my car and kidnapping me and all this stuff. And what happens is when Mr. Perry, I have help. I guess there's been, they don't want to admit there's police on them, that there's law enforcement investigating them. We quote them every day. We have for 7 years, 8 years now. Every day. We're naming their people. We got all kinds of intel. Not one of them has sat down and go, why are they getting the help with information? And we're not. Because nobody will talk to you about who's helping you. David's running around and Charles running around. Oh, it's shapeshifters and Roswell aliens. There's no police. Oh, it's because we're making a bunch of phone calls and nobody will tell us anything. So there's no police. And just because people are sick of y'all and they won't cooperate with you and they won't help you, that means they don't exist? Is that what you're, assuming? Wow, okay. Then it was, I'm psychic. Well, I have superpowers. I'm doing this all by myself and I'm just psychic. How did the Fabian puzzle get to me in jail? That puzzle is extremely specific to me, to what I want, how I see things, and these guys helping me see things. Matt Powell, if I hear you say one more fucking time, she's ingratiated herself to some police. Sir, look at the facts. Here's the thing, some people don't want to come across as being a dum-dum. So you look at the facts and you're smart enough to put two and two together, or you're not. And so no ingratiating needed, Mr. Powell. Also, I've known these people most of my adult life. They've known everything I do, everywhere I go, who I do it with, for 30 years. You don't know me at all. We never met. I hear you talking, or your name comes up in police chatter. Other than that, you don't know me. You don't know a fucking thing about me. You don't have the right to say something like that. And it's inappropriate. She's ingratiated herself. Like, she's just sweet-talked her way into somebody using some logic and reason and putting two and two together and looking at dates and times and facts. Yeah, that's it, Matt. You say the dumbest things. We're just like, what in the hell? IQ of, what is his IQ? It doesn't even make sense for you to say something like that, and you continue to say it. It's very irritating, Mr. Powell, that you say something like that. Anybody can look. I've shown people Mike's case that aren't cops, that aren't in law enforcement, and they're like, you don't have to be a cop or grow up in law enforcement to see that somebody screwed this guy over. There's no way he could have done that murder. There's no way. So for you to say something like she's ingratiated herself into it, the fuck? Really? That's one reason I did not like Lubbock. People are like that, and I just not all of them. But there's 5 people that live in Lubbock that I respected and thought highly of, and I don't know how they stand it. I really don't know how they stand to be around that kind of mentality. I don't get it. So, Mr. Perry, how many women have you terrorized and horrified over the years? Here's the thing. I don't like you. That's not illegal not to like someone and to reject someone. It's not illegal at all. Then I moved twice to get away from you because you terrorize and horrify and harass and threaten and harass and bother and threaten and harass. And coercion is a very serious crime. Trafficking is a very serious crime. Witness tampering is a very serious crime. Perjury, suborning perjury, tampering with evidence, all of that's hacking, cloning, cloned my phone. And you guys get caught when you do it to me, and you just go right back at it. Normally, for most people, that would be a deterrent. we said it a long time ago. Your people said it. When he pesters her all day and torments her and takes her money, things don't work out for us. All of a sudden, she finds out before. So David's running around. Well, it's Roswell aliens and shapeshifters. I don't even believe those exist, either one of them. My granddad helped set up those UFO museums, Mr. Robertson, because some people do, and it brought a lot of money into Roswell. He was a city councilman at the time. He didn't believe aliens landed in Roswell, much less, they don't exist. I don't believe it. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. With you're off your nut. That's the wackiest thing I've ever heard. Then, or she's just psychic. Oh my God. Wow. I'd win the lottery if I was psychic, David. I mean, I'd go down, I would know what numbers are going to win, and I'd be rich. And you couldn't take that money. I mean, you guys take every penny you can take, try to coerce me to be trafficked, make her destitute. That's what you do to all your victims. Make them destitute. Take the car, take the money, get rid of jobs, harass her, make every environment she's in, family, work, make it hostile. And then we'll come to, well, let's save you. Come to this, come be our victim. And suck out all these guys' dicks for us, and we'll make a lot of money. Get raped. So I've always said no. You have a lot of nerve even approaching me with that. I'm not a teenage runaway, first of all. Second of all, when you do it to me, you always get caught. If it is not law enforcement, Mr. Robertson, what is it? And prove that. It's not shapeshifters and aliens. Those things don't even exist. I'm not psychic. I can't psychic myself a Fabian puzzle in jail. You guys are, I mean, there's something wrong with you. Just because you haven't figured it out, which we work very hard to make sure you don't figure it out, then that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I mean, we're like, oh my gosh, the stuff these guys say is just whack job. But most people have the good sense to stop when you get caught every day. Most people would have the good sense to stop the third time that happened. Normally, the number's about 3 times. The third time you get caught, you stop. Kind of like 3 strikes, you're out. That's just kind of a number that sticks in everybody's head, that now I've been caught 3 times, I'm not doing this anymore. Not these guys, every day for 7 years. And we're like, there's your shovel, dig away. That dirt's going somewhere, he's about to bury you in it, the deeper you get in your hole. And Charles is like, I'll do it more. Our shrink is like, he does everything she hates and nothing she likes, then can't figure out why she doesn't like him. He's into men that are deviant. Charles isn't into women. He does nothing women like. Women don't like to be peeped on. Women don't like being starved. Women don't like being tormented, like this guy's doing. Women like men who are chivalrous. And he does opposite of that. Everything hateful, everything cruel, everything abusive, everything bizarro, weirdo, strangeo that turns off women. That's what he does. He horrifies women. And that's what he does. Then he can't figure out why they don't like him. And then you got a Kidnap. You got a house in Houston, we found out. When Charles contacts me, when he takes my money, when he invades my privacy, when he causes problems for me, we always get more. Day after day, it's the same old thing, Calvin. I mean, Sanjay's been very busy deleting emails and messing with my Dasher app and all kinds of stuff. I think when I call Mr. Perry, do not contact me again. The fuck just asked me, is it Sanjay the leak? I'm not told who your leaks are. I'm not told who the leaks are. We want you gone. I wouldn't help you if I knew. Everybody's sick and tired of you. Everybody wants you gone. No one's gonna help you. No one. Everybody wants you gone. I don't know who the leaks are. I don't know who the leaks are, Mr. Perry. Mr. Perry, people get really angry with you that you have the nerve to ask me for help. The fuck is wrong with you? I would not help you if you were on fire and had to pee. Wouldn't do it. Everybody's sick of you. Everybody wants you gone. I'm going to say this. How many times do I have to say it? Repeat myself for mental slow guy here. I'm not told who your leaks are. I don't know who your leaks are. We all want you gone. No one is going to help you. We all want you gone. We don't like the problems. We don't like your drama. We don't like this, the cruelty and the suffering. No one's going to help you. Never have, never will. No one's going to help you. Never have, never... Have I said it enough fucking times for you yet? Get a fucking nurse. You're wasting my time. So this is what he does. I think when I call Dasher support, I'm talking to Sonjay.
Wait, stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop, I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's why I moved. Leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No,
Leave me alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Please stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop, I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's why I moved. Leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No,
Leave me alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you. I don't ever want to hear.
So here's Perry's people having their little meeting. We're gonna kidnap her, take her car. Here's Calvin. She ain't gonna make no money on DoorDash or out at that club. I think that's Calvin, I guess. I'm just like, I've never met these people. I'm going by police recordings, what I could kind of ascertain and gather from who's saying what. They don't even tell me who it is. Once in a blue moon, they will. Once in a blue moon. Or they might go, that was a reporter, not one of our 12. So once in a while, I'll hear a report. They'll just tell me it's a reporter. So I'm not told who I'm listening to. Over time, I can usually start recognizing voices. That I've never met Calvin. I've never met Sonjay. Sonjay's the hacker. Sonjay's been busy. Right? Isn't Sonjay the hacker? Isn't he busy deleting shit and jamming up DoorDash and all that crap? And, I don't even... So they have this house in Houston that is a compound where Mr. Perry has kidnapped women. They're getting raped. Listen, if you don't have consent, you are raping them. You are a rapist. You're violating them. They don't want you. You have made it very clear, I don't get to eat unless I do as I'm told. And it's even worse for them. They're in a cage. You're a monster. You got caught when you started doing it to me. I'm going to say that again, because I promise you, the guy has no fucking idea what I just said or what it means. What does it mean? Why do we get the information and you don't? Why is it, David, Sonjay, Calvin, Bentoncourt, Muffin Man, Lucius? Why is it every day we quote you, I know your names and I've not met you? I get that from police chatter. Or shapeshifters, David. Golly, I mean, the stuff you guys come up with. By the way, then it was, well, it's just God and the angels. Well, then that's fine. There are definitely gods in this. There's 40 of us that are Christians. 40 of us. Most of us are Christians. Thank you for acknowledging the sovereign power of an almighty God. That he has the power to do things you can't figure out. You mess up your plans and, tell me, yeah. He actually does. We've seen God do a lot of miracles in this deal. Go into court and acknowledge that there are no cops after you. There is no law enforcement after you. God is powerful and is doing a whole lot of things you can't explain. The God that you defy, the God that you gave him the finger while you rape and starve and rob and go into court and lie or bear false witness, and to anybody who will listen, you lie, about the color of their own hair. Go into court and say, God Almighty is sovereign and powerful. The God we defy is doing this. Doing things we've never seen before that we cannot explain. That is true. That doesn't mean there's no law enforcement. But thank you for acknowledging, you fucking Satanists, the power of Almighty God you defy. The one you're giving the finger to, Calvin. You are a nasty old man, Calvin. You don't have a love life either, do you? I don't know how if you do. just terrorize and horrify and terrorize and horrify day after day after day. We get the help and you don't. Why is that? Did any of you sit down and go, why? What is the why in this?
Your voice to you. Please,
What
God
happened?
bless you, but
What
please leave me
happened?
alone. Please leave me alone. Please stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't.
About
Stop
stress.
stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's
No,
why I
no,
moved.
no. Just talk.
Leave me
No,
alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes and
No,
I'll leave you alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you.
What
I don't ever
happened?
want to hear your voice to you. Please,
what
God
happened?
bless you, but
What
please leave
happened?
me alone. Please leave me alone. Please stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't. Stop.
So I think I mentioned a long time ago that there is a verse in the Bible of Jesus speaking, and he said, if you cause one of these little ones to fall, it is better for you, not the kid, you, that a millstone is hung around your neck and you are thrown into the sea and you die. Certainly, it relieves the suffering of the child if you're no longer around to cause it. So you would think he would say it's good for the kid, but he said it's better for you if a millstone is hung around your neck and you're thrown into the sea and you die because you're causing suffering that would cause that child to give up. Charles, I don't like you. You disgust me to my core. Every time you pop up, I get a sick stomach and I want to throw up. You're a creepy fucking weirdo. You are a monster. You torment and terrorize me. The guy pressured me all damn day. I said no. I said no. I've never consented and I never will. I'm sorry you made a contract that is illegal. That's your problem. That is your problem. It is inappropriate for you to contact me. You have an attorney. Go through your attorney, dum-dum. I'm not going to be pressured. If you pressure me, then the next thing you know, we're quoting everything y'all say. Is that what you want? You want the heat on you, Charles? You're bringing heat on your whole thing. Every time you contact me. Don't contact me. I fucking hate it. You give me the creepy crawlies and the heebie-jeebies. You give everybody that. There's a reason we can get help with information and you cannot. Everybody gets the heebie-jeebies when you walk in the room. Be embarrassed like everybody else is. Please, be embarrassed. Everybody else is. Why aren't you? Why aren't you? You're a weirdo. Please be as embarrassed as everybody else is. And stop, it's...
Stop me. Please, I can't live. This make you feel? You're filming my father and my fucking sister. How does this make you feel?
How does it make you feel when you invade my privacy? When your privacy is invaded the way you invade mine. How does it make you feel? You take my money, they take information. The information that will be used to go into court and get an arrest warrant and you're gone. That's what everybody wants. We quote you every day. I don't put out near what they have. Not near. What I have time for, I'll type it up. Or if it's clearly the kidnapping conversation last night was very concerning to a whole lot of people. Let's just go kidnap her and then rape her. Assault her. Because I'm going to kick the shit out of you. You going to hit me? Huh? If you try to kick me, if you try to kidnap me, Mr. Perry, you've gone into court and said you're not doing any of this. Did you commit perjury? Another one? Huh? So if I end up disappear, how are you going to explain that? What are the guys helping me going to do? What are they going to do to you? So do you like getting your privacy invaded the way you invade mine? That's what she's saying. Do you like get your picture taken? How does this feel? And he's such a fucktard, he doesn't even understand what she's saying. He's like, I got pictures of you. You want me to go get them? I'm going to get you. Talking to Mr. Perry's the same thing. It's no different at all. You can't reason with crazy people, and you can't fix stupid. You can't do it. You'll try, and then you feel stupid. I feel stupid that I tried. I should know better than to waste my time.
Put all those scratches on your arm. You want to see the
Scratches?
I got scratches. I can show you the pictures right now.
No, I want you to leave my family fucking alone.
Keep hanging outside of there.
Hit the road. Dude, I promise you, you're gonna get yours and you're
I don't
gonna
give a fuck. You can bring whoever the fuck you want.
That's okay. You're
You
gonna
can bring
Is
the
that
whole
a
fucking
threat?
army. I don't give a fuck.
This make you feel? You're filming my father and my fucking.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman's giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her. You need to leave her alone. And this is bacon.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me.
Jeff Judgment, baby.
Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting.
Jeff Judgment, baby.
Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes. All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone.
Jeff Judgment, baby.
Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
Oh my god. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How do you dress like this? What's going on? You're a prostitute. I'm serious.
Sir, please leave.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me
All
alone.
you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone.
Jeff Judgment, baby.
Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
Oh my god. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How do you dress like this? What is that, your prostitute?
Okay, she didn't ask him what he thought of her clothes, did she? No, Mr. Perry tries to talk to me constantly. He acts like he thinks I care what he thinks, and he wasn't asked. He was asked to leave me alone. I don't want to talk to you. I'm talking right now. I said no to your whole trafficking thing. I don't consent to being peeped on. I don't consent to the invasion of my privacy. I don't consent to you contacting me at all. I've made that really, really, really clear. Your illegal contract with other people is not my problem. Your illegal contract with other people is not my problem. You kidnap me, you take from me, they take from you. And then they're going to use all of that and take it to court and arrest you guys, and we're done. We're fucking done, finally. Ding dong, the Wicked Witch is dead. All the bad is gone. So, that's why we get help and you don't. When you're very cruel to people, people are not going to like you. I've said this before. When you do something that is illegal, that something is something people don't like. When you do things people don't like, they want you gone. They want you gone. They're not going to like you. You guys don't just do a little bit of it. This is not, oh, you stubbed my toe. This is ruining and destroying rape, assault, battery, murder, kidnapping, false imprisonment, coercion, interference, the violation of basic rights and needs, human rights. Interference with contracts with intent to coerce. Every contract you interfered with, they're going to charge you with a coercion charge. Every day I don't make money, they're going to charge you with deprivation of food and shelter with intent to coerce. It's a coercion charge. Every day you interfere with commerce of any kind, they're going to charge you with a coercion charge. False imprisonment, if you kidnap me and you false imprison me and you beat me up, all of that too. Witness tampering. There's a lot of stuff you've done in the courts, in the civil courts, where you went in and lied and I wasn't there. You didn't have an opponent, Charles. You played Candyland against you and beat you. You had no opponent. You have 5 fucking seasoned attorneys who can't handle one woman with not a lick of law school. And everybody thinks that is hysterical. That you're that pathetic and that much of a coward. That much of a coward. I've not even gotten my mail. They're stealing my mail. God only knows what the hell I have and don't know anything about. So when you go into court, it isn't fair unless all parties are participating and the laws are followed and procedures are followed. As much, I've not been to law school, so on the procedures, sometimes I mess that up a little. But usually I get a chance to correct it because I'm not a lawyer. You have 5 old fart, seasoned attorneys against one woman who has not a lick of law school, and you're still too coward to face me in court like a man. 3 times. So, when you type in my phone, I win, fuck you. You beat you. You had no opponent. You didn't use intelligence strategy and outsmart me or outlawyer me. You cheated. You bought a judge in some cases. You went into court. You beat you. And no one else. No one was in there to oppose you. So, you failed. Whatever you did that was illegal there, he can use that, my guy tells me, as a witness tampering charge. There's a lot of things, but that might be one. And part of the coercion. He's using civil courts to pressure you. When he's typing that in your phone, I win. I'm taking your car. I'm going to make you go broke. Be a prostitute. Oh my God. They're sitting there watching you. They're in my phone too. You clone my phone, they can clone my phone too, dum-dum. So, or maybe they're in your phone watching maybe they have a court order to be in your phone. I'm not told the semantics of it all and all that. I'm throwing out hypothetical because I'm not told that. Oh my God, he just did it again. He just fucking did it again. Okay, next time we quote you, Mr. Perry has made unwanted contact with me twice. I don't care what you think. Why is it you think I do? Nobody understands why you think I care what you think, or why you think I would want to help you. You don't ruin somebody's life and try to starve them and then go looking for a handout. Help me. Tell me information. No one is going to help you. You know what my guy said? If Mr. Perry acts like he understands words, I'll call him. That means when we told him in March 2020, her privacy is not to be invaded anymore. You don't contact her or her family in any form at all ever again. She'd better not be broke. Get your hands out of her wallet. There is not going to be any threats of starvation. There's not going to be a bribe. It's all threats and bribes with you. What you're going to do is pay back the legit money that you owe, because that other stuff is illegal. You legally owe her money. You took money from her. Give it back to her. Get the club full of paying customers. Get Tristan and Fabian up to Tulsa so they can talk you butt out. Get the club full of paying customers that aren't grabby and weirdo like you. No more canned food bitches in there. Since you ran all the good customers off, Charles, and get Mike home and get the fuck out of her life. He said it in March 2020. Give back what you took, fix what you broke, and get out. And then we'll show some mercy. I'll call you. We'll figure out what we can do. But until you act like you understand grown-up words, I'm busy getting intel so I can do it for you. And then I'm going to remind you every day for the rest of your life. You made a mess. I cleaned it up, not you. We made her happy, not you. We protected her from you. I'll never help you. Now, when you start acting like you think I will, and you think I care what you think, delusional. Squirting out your ears. Complete nutbag delusion. There's no way. Everybody wants you gone. We get the help, not you. That's why. All you do is go around and make problems. Somebody said that. Everywhere Charles and Dave go, they make problems, and it's not too long and everybody's broke. And I can imagine they have leaks. Everybody's sick of that. Everybody's sick of it. You can bully and bully and bully and feel tough guy, and I'm the boss, and I'm the man. And you can do that until you've done it so much, everybody starts going against you. And no, we're done with that. We're done with your ego. We're done with your, bullying. We're fucking done with you. And then we get the help and you don't. Okay? You feel tough guy when we quote you? Huh? Is it cute when we quote you? So, today we get this. So today we get this one. I guess somebody was looking for me when is she going back to the club? Because we want to get to her there. And the guy's like, well, I don't know when she's going back. She didn't really quit. She's on like a leave of absence, and it looks like a couple times she's tried to go back, and Charles messes it up. Charles threatens a harm or something, so she doesn't go. And that's true. That's he's correct in that. He had our co-workers bully her, and they did scripts and role-playing. And then we heard Viviana's back. And did you do scripts and role-playing with her too? She was supposed to cause a problem? You guys had it all set up? We heard about that. Is she back? If I go back and I walk in, she there? And I'm like, oh, well, that recording is true. I had one of her co-workers trying to set her up on a petty larceny and did all this stuff to her. So she hasn't been back. We're not sure when she's going back, but as far as they know, it's a leave of absence due to an injury. I don't tell my coworkers. I don't tell anybody about this Facebook. So if they find out, you told them. Because I don't mention it. There's a lot of shit on Facebook. You got to look for this. You got to be looking for it to find it. I mean, I don't really say anything I've never said anything to my coworkers about this. Not at all. When I go to work to work and make money. So the topic of Charles Perry came up at work. In all the years I danced, came up here and there, but not very often. And it didn't come up in this context. It came up in, where do you live? Well, I have a stalker, so I don't tell people I don't know where I live. I'm not going to tell a strange man where I live. Oh, yeah. Probably the guy worked for you. So I would say chances are high. Likely that guy worked for you. You're off your nut if you thought I was going to just say where I live. So I didn't make a huge thing about the stalking, talking about that much. Occasionally I did, but it's rare. I try to keep my conversation on more pleasant topics. I know that you think you're the ruler of the universe, but not my universe. I talk about you as little as I can. I only deal with what I have to deal with. Otherwise, I don't want. I wish you would. I guess you have Huntington's disease. I wish it would kill you dead. I really do. And I know that sounds mean, but you torment me. You've taken everything and everybody I love and care about. So I hate your guts. I really do. So that's how I feel about it. I wish the Huntington's disease would kill you dead. And then the world will be a much happier place. You're the bad thing that happens in the world. You're the guy we warn our children about. You're that guy. That's what you chose. Your contract that you made illegally is not my problem, is it? So you act like I owe you something. Like I'm supposed to just go be trafficked and I owe you that. Oh my gosh. With the welfare entitled, fuck you. Shove it up your ass. You're off your nut. You've gotten crazier, they say, over the last few days. He's getting more desperate and more crazy, and I think everybody's kind of getting concerned about that. Because we're hearing a lot of conversations about kidnapping and maybe assault and some rape and stuff. Maybe a murder. Wow. But you went into court and said you're not doing all that. Yeah. Didn't you? Do it again. Go into court again and say it one more time. I dare you. That you're not doing what I'm accusing you of doing. Go into court, Charles Perry, David Robertson. I don't think Mr. Powell's in this loop a lot. I think he is some, but not as much as you are. You're always in Oklahoma, right? You're never in Lubbock where you live. Why are you always in Oklahoma? because nobody invited you here. Nobody invited you here, Mr. Perry. So we got this today, and the guy's like, I'm not sure she's going back or when or what. She's tried a couple times and they made a problem, so she didn't go. And Charles, had some weird setup, so she didn't want to go. I don't. Why would I go? If you're gonna be causing a problem for me, why would I go? If you're gonna be there, why would I go? I want nothing to do with you. I did move twice, completely changed my life to get away from you. If you sit around and bullshit yourself all day, and that there's that I like you, I don't know. That's not my problem either, is it? Cuckoo bird. I mean, you need to be. They're like, the guy needs a padded cell. But the delusion is outrageous. Your make-believe world and the real world, you can no longer tell the difference between. That's obvious. It's completely obvious. So we got all this. When I say, here's the thing, I've owned my own businesses. I don't know what kind of women you're used to dealing with. Most girls that are trafficked are like teenage runaways. I'm not that. I grew up in law enforcement and politics. I've always had very powerful men around me and in my life. So, what are you to me, Charles? You're a peon. You're just a mentally ill peon who rants all the time and terrorizes all the time. So every time you contact me, we always get more. We got this. You pestered me all damn day. You took my money all last night. So we got more. I heard you talking about the kidnapping. Who's Greg and Larry? Who are those two people? We heard somebody say that last night. Greg and Larry are drunk and they're trying to go kidnap Cindy. We're trying to keep them settled, calm them down. They're all mad because she won't just go let them make her a victim of crime. Listen, Greg and Tim and Larry and Lucius and Calvin, all you guys who work for Charles. I said no. That's it. I said, you're crazy. No. You don't just decide that, I picked that woman and she's going to be sold and be subservient, then I'll rape her every day. You get near me, you'll get the fuck kicked out of you. Your balls are in your brain, just like that. You think, we'll go get her car, then she'll just have, she'll just have to be walking, and she'll do what we tell her. We'll make sure she don't make no money anywhere she work. Okay. Like, interference with contracts and commerce with intent to coerce. Deprivation of food and shelter with intent. When's he going to charge you? How bad's it going to be? Calvin? Larry? Greg? Tim? I'll turn the transponder off on my plane. So my point is that I've been in leadership positions. I owned a business. I started the DME Association in New Mexico. Unfortunately, when I left, it fell apart. I was the one keeping it together. I started it and it was going good, and when I left, it fell apart when I moved from New Mexico. There were a lot of, it was interesting. One day, I start this DME Association, and we have a big meeting, and a lot of candidates and elected officials were at the meeting and spoke at the meeting. And after the meeting, these three people from Las Cruces, New Mexico, basically circled me and told me, sit down, we want to talk to you. And I was like, the fuck is this? One of the ladies looked at me, and I guess one was from Las Cruces and one was from like Carlsbad or something. And she looked at me, she goes, we've been trying to start a DME association for 2 years. How come you did it? And I just looked at her, well, what I did is I worked. I picked up the phone, I made phone calls, and here we are. You could have done the same fucking thing. It's not that hard. Well, I'm busy. I said, so am I. I'm running a DME company. I just had a baby. Dennis was a baby. I said, I just had a baby. I have a 4-year-old little boy. And so thankfully, I was blessed to have a really good nanny that comes in 3 days a week. On those 3 days, I made the phone calls. So here we are. I was like, listen, I don't know what your thing is. I'm getting this started, and in about 6 months, I may be moving to Las Vegas. So when I move to Las Vegas, you can take it over. I'll do the grunt work for you, and then you just take it over. Oh, okay, sure, that sounds good, thank you. Um, she was almost like trying to intimidate me. So anyway, when I left, it fell apart. But what that means is that I have the quality that I don't care what you think. I'm gonna make the best decision I feel. In obviously that clearly that's gonna be compliance with the fucking law. Cuckoo bird. So we do the decision making, and we don't make a bunch of phone calls to see who approves and who doesn't. And now there might be some situations that you got stakeholders involved in a certain type of decision that you have to make, and you call them. But in general, if it's just me, I'm gonna make the decision, and that's my decision. I don't need your approval. I didn't call you and ask you what you think, did I? So I don't want to know what you think. I don't want anything to do with you. If I wanted to know what you thought, I'd ask you. So I'm kind of like that. Me and one of the guys that is investigating you, we're both just a little bit Miranda Priestley. Just a little bit. Don't waste our time. We don't like saying it twice. Don't fucking, you better, if you can't keep up, get a notebook and a nurse to help you understand what's said. I don't know what else to say. It's just, that's how I am. Somebody said that yesterday. She's very blunt. She's not going to beat around the bush. She's not going to tell you what you want to hear. She's going to tell you what the facts. Here's the way it is. If you don't like that, call your mommy. We're all grown-ups. No one else cares. So there's this. I've fucking slept in my fucking car and had nothing to eat and no shower because you guys are trying to traffic me and trying to make me destitute, so I'll go along with it. I'm fighting mafia here. Okay, so when you gotta cry, can you imagine I'm not gonna be sympathetic to you with what you put me through. I don't care. Call your mommy. No one else cares. When you take something from someone that they care about, they're not going to like you anymore. That's it. That could be property. That could be a person. That could be time sometimes. There are people that waste your time, and they just go on and gossip, and you're just like, I don't want to hear this. You're taking up my time. So we got this, I mean, the guy's true. The guy's right. I don't beat around the bush, and I'm not gonna tell you what you want to hear. And by the way, he ended that. He goes, by the way, she's right. You can't argue with Michael Nealey was drugged. He didn't do it. In March, and then in May, when first responders are deposed, Michael Nealey was drugged. We gave him Narcan so he wouldn't die. Can't argue with that. It's a timeline. The timeline is a key piece of evidence in the case against you. The timeline of when I'm broke and when I'm not. All of that plays a huge role in what happens in your criminal trial. When you contact me, Charles, in any way, shape, or form, it gives me the creepy crawlies and the heebie-jeebies and a sick stomach, and I fucking hate it. And we always get more because you just defy the law. You just defy, the victims at the house in Houston are not there because they want to be there. They're there because they feel like they can't eat. They're like, well, gosh, we're making her sleep in her car. She can't eat and she can't take a bath every day. Then we took the car. That's what we'll do to you. We'll have the cops arrest you. We'll do a false arrest like we did to her and Mike. So if they could leave, if they were there, because you go around telling people these women consent. That is a flat out fucking lie from the pit of hell. They don't consent. Let them come and go as they please. And then we'll believe they consent. Get out of my wallet. Okay? Stop trying to coerce me. Stop interfering and butting into stuff that doesn't concern you. Nobody asked you what you think, and I don't want to help you. No one does. I actually had to do this email twice because Mr. Perry deleted the first one. So, or Sanjay did. Yeah, so there's that. When you contact me, we get more. When you cause a problem for me, the guys that got me that, they get me more. Right? This is very specific to me. They got that to me in jail. It's not just any words, it's those two words. It's not just in the same book or on the same page they intersect, Hope and Fabian. It's not your name. Your name's more common. If it was random, there's a greater probability your name would show up on there. If it was random, it's not random. Fabian is not a common name as Charles, is it? Or any other name. Josh or Jacob or Paul or Sam or Tim or Greg or Larry. Okay, boo denotes the fear you cause, sadness, and you're the butt in. Always the wannabe, never the one wanted. Button in. Yeah. So our shrink is like, if he liked Cindy, he would do what she likes. He does everything she hates. He does everything deviant men like. What does that tell you? Yeah, I'll let you figure the rest out. They were talking about it last night. They're gonna kidnap me. When you contact me in any form, we always get more, Charles. He just did it again. So all of this that we got, that you guys all run around going, how does she know? How does she find out? How do I know you made a contract that's illegal? I do know you made a contract that's illegal. How do I know Greg and Larry and Tim and Bald Fat Calvin and Sonja, your hacker, and Geppetto, your witch? Psychic. I'm psychic. Okay. How did I psychic that to me, David? Huh? It's just God and the angels. We're Satanists, but we're going to admit that the God we defy and give a middle finger to has a lot of power to do things nobody else can explain. Right? Peepin', pokin', pink penny. Your guys called you that. I'm just quoting your people. They call you peepin', pokin', pink penny, Perry. Your people do that. I'm quoting your guys. They respect you and all. Okay, so there's your... How do I have this? How do I have this? Every time you contact me, we get more. Every time you take my money, we get more. Oh, that's a lot of details. Very specific. Right? You like your privacy being invaded? Huh? You like your privacy being invaded, Charles? You invaded mine. I don't like it. Look at that. Names. The worse you made things, the more cruel you got. We got a lot of names, don't we? Those people. Name one of my guys. Name one. Oh, yeah, nobody will help you with that. Quote one of their meetings. Oh, yeah, nobody will help you with that. So, and some of these are basically subject lines of emails I typed up that were a topic of their conversation. It was a police recording. So I don't have time to go through all that right now. Look at this. You're a sadist. You like making everybody else's life a living hell. You get some sick thrill out of upsetting both sides because you upset me when you go at me. And then my guys start digging and we start quoting you. And then that upsets your people. Now everybody's mad. Everybody's mad but Charles. He's sitting there getting his sick thrill for the day. He does it every day. He has for 10 years. You don't do the same thing every day for 10 years if you're not getting exactly what you want out of that. Code words. We got your code words. Anybody else have that? That's our shriek's predetermination. He doesn't like women. He likes deviant men. He does what deviant men like. What does that tell you? We've not proven out Holloway being at that compound. We heard you guys talking about Aruba and her being there. So then my guys are like, oh, we have ways of testing things. They go, let's put out that we're going to do an extraction. We put out that we're going to do an extraction. Then we start hearing y'all talking about, we got to move her. Well, she hasn't gone by Natalie Holloway in years. Do you think she'll remember that's her name? So the strategy of let's put out, we're going to do an extraction worked to some extent. So we still don't know she's there. We haven't seen her, but we're hearing you talking about her. So that certainly gives some reason to dig more, don't you think? It's so easy, it's not fair. So there's all this from yesterday. Excuse me, I'm tired. All of this. Look at this one. This one's a good one. Why is he trying to talk to her via hack? He's got an attorney. It's not very smart for him to try to talk to her directly. Yeah, but it's Charles Perry, so he's got Huntington's disease. It causes delusion, paranoia, psychosis, hallucinations, and impaired cognitive reasoning. So he can't do cause and effect, same and different before and after. Can't do it. How many times was your crime caught before you did it to me? How many after? Can you still add and subtract? You were an accountant. Can you still add? Anyways, okay, so we got this, and the guy's like, he thinks he can talk her into being trafficked. made a lot of promises to other people. If you'll help me get her trafficked, we can, I'll pay you a little something. Somebody said Ty Buttram's in that. Please tell me that's not true. Please tell me that's not true. So, whatever contract you did, I know about it before, not after. And I got that from police. But David, you're more than welcome to go into court and say God told her. The God that we defy has the power to do that. Yeah, okay. He does, by the way, but I want to hear you say it in court to explain away how I get this information and it's not law enforcement. Okay, then there's you know, he's like, he thinks he can threaten and bribe her into it, so he's going at her and going at her and pestering and pestering. Alright, I'm gonna close right now because I got shit to do. Okay, so let me just, since we're talking about it being God and the angels, and I heard that, everybody knows that the story that I told, they're threatening my car constantly. I'm praying about it. I'm like, God, please help me with this. These guys are trying to fucking just crush me. They're just trying to crush me, and part of that is taking my car. And I have a dream that dropping off food, and I got to make a food delivery, and the guy had stairs with this hole next to the stairs, and I dropped my key in it. And I turn around, I'm like all upset. I'm like, crap, I can't get my key out of that hole. And this little boy standing there with his granddad, and he starts laughing. And I'm like, what are you laughing at? And he goes like, I go, it's not funny. I lost my key. I don't know how I'm gonna get back in my car, get out of here. And he goes, there's a really big angel behind you. And I said, really? Is he funny? I mean, you're laughing? And he goes, he's just so big. And I woke up, and the very next day, that was just a dream. It didn't really happen. It's just a dream. But the next day, what really did happen is I'm walking out of a restaurant to take DoorDash delivery, and I look on the ground, and there's this keychain. And it's the kind you can wrap around your wrist, and it's pearl. It's not pink, it's not red, it's not blue. Pearl, like an angel. And so when they took my car, it actually, I'm not going to get into the details of this, they actually worked in my favor in ways that I can't speak about publicly, and I'm not sure they know, they may know, I don't know. It actually did me a pretty good favor, because there was some things with that car that was a problem. So it actually ended up protecting me, and when I walked out and I saw my car was gone, and I'm like, fuck, they did it. We had the email from the day before where they were calling Brandon, let us know when she comes up there so we can get her car. So we already had that. So I'm like, okay, well, they proved out that recording. First of all. Second of all, I'm just like, God, thank you for protecting me. I don't know what in the world you're doing here, but I believe you are who you say you are, and you're going to do what you say you're going to do. And you promised me to deliver me from evil. You promised me to protect me. You promised me to give me double for my trouble. Isaiah 61. You promised me that we're going to crush fierce lions and slay dragons, and we're going to relieve suffering caused by crime, and we're going to be safe. We're going to be like Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego. We're going to walk through the fire and not be burned. So I know that's what this is, and I'm thanking you for it. And I don't know. Tell me what you want me to do now. So I'm praying about it. The guys are praying about it with me, and we're all figuring out what to do. Okay, now what? So next step in the process, we figured out the next step in the process. And I never cried. I didn't call my mommy and cry. Oh, somebody done me wrong. We were kind of like, okay, well, this is another proven recording. Another I told you so. So there's that. We had it before, not after. And the email that we have before, it shows and establishes for the record intent. You intended a malicious act in Oklahoma. So, by the way, that somebody said that gave me a lot of credibility. Here's this list of things that she found out about before he did it. And he did exactly, he's specific. It's not vague. Her info is very specific. Mike was drugged. He didn't do it. Oh, sure shit he was. Mike was drugged. He didn't do it. McNamara email. the Fabian puzzle. All of that gives her a lot of credibility over Charles. But even I'll add to that the list that she's got. I'm going to add to that. He's always in Oklahoma. Why? What's he doing up there? Doesn't live there. Doesn't have business there. Doesn't need to be up there. Family, constituents, all that's in Lubbock. So why in the hell is he always in Oklahoma? There's all these problems. Going without food in the bath is a problem. Having your car wrecked 5 times is a problem. Murder in the first degree of a cop is a problem. And all these problems are happening to other people where Charles is. So, to me, right there, that gives her a hell of a lot of credibility. So, she says something, I'm going to believe her over him any day of the week. So, anyways, so thank you, sir, whoever that was. And, it was a male voice. Anyways, okay, so here's this, in that, Geppetto, even your witch, said, I've seen those angels, the angel or the angels that are around her in my wiki sessions or whatever, that the kid was talking about that she's talking about in her dream. They are big. The guys, they're huge. So we all know that I have angels around me all the time. Everybody does. I'm not the only one. Everybody does. I think even if you're a Satanist, you got angels around you because God wants to keep you safe long enough to maybe, hopefully, you'll turn away from the Satanism shit. And, you don't see people lining up to join the Church of Satan. You see Joel Osteen's church is packed. So you got to know there's something weird about you if you're into that. And there's something people don't like. Negative and bad and bad mojo and wiki shit. They don't like it. It's creepy. But everybody loves goodness and joy and peace and all those things that God brings. So what is wrong with you that you don't get that? People like kindness. A man's kindness brings blessings. They're helping us. His cruelty will be his downfall. They're not helping you. They're telling on you. They're getting it somehow. The guys are getting it somehow. You got leaks. You got wiretap orders. You got all kinds of shit. Just because you can't find it, David, doesn't mean anything. They make every effort to make sure you don't. So, what I'm going to say is, believe God is who he says he is, and he will do what he says he will do. And the greatest commandment is that you treat other people like you want to be treated. It kind of sums up the rest. Don't steal, don't lie, don't commit adultery, don't covet. All those, don't lie in court, don't bear false witness. All those are all wrapped up into, if you don't want somebody doing that to you, don't do it to them. Your illegal contract is not my fucking problem, is it? But I know about it. That ought to make you shit yourself. Yeah, no other victim knows all the stuff I know. We get the information because people don't like what you're doing. They don't like it, and they don't like you. And the complaint has been Charles and Dave go around, and all of a sudden, everything's a problem. And it's not too long that everybody's broke, and everybody's tired of it. So, a man's kindness brings blessings. Cruelty will be his downfall because we get the information to stop it. You're doing things people don't like, so stop. You can do it or they'll do it for you. If they have to do it for you, you're not going to like it. You're not going to like it.
Please, I can't live here anymore because you're stalking. That's why
No.
leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No, 0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Please stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you're stalking. That's why
Alright, when I scream and yell, it's no different than when she's screaming and yelling. It's not a temper. It's somebody's making you feel raped. Someone is forcing themselves on you and doing things to cause a loss. And you scream and yell, leave me alone. It's called the normal reaction to an abnormal situation. You're provoking, you're instigating, you're terrorizing, you're horrifying, and everybody wants you to is screaming, stop.
leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No, 0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Please stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't.
Come on,
Stop
Jack.
stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore. You stop me. That's why.
No.
Leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No,
Leave me alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you.
What
I don't
happened?
want to hear your voice, you. Please,
what
God
happened?
bless you.
What
Please leave
happened?
me alone. Please leave me alone. Please stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't.
Come on,
Stop
Jack.
stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore. You stop me. That's why. Leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No,
Leave me alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you.
What happened?